Good day everyone. I am Leslie Ann L. Malatag from Group 6 and now I'm going to present to you our topic from Lesson 2, Chapter 2, the Market Research Methods. What is Market Information System? The Market Information System is the people, equipment, and procedures used to gather, sort, analyze, evaluate, and distribute needed, timely and accurate information to marketing decision makers. So, MIS or Market Information System is a system that helps organizations to collect and analyze data or information so that managers can make good decisions. And also it helps the business to know what customers wants and needs, what competitors do, and how the sales are going. There are three components of MIS, and the first one is the internal records. This refers to the documents in the company's order-to-payment cycle, such as invoices, shipping orders, and etc. And it also avails documents and resources that comprise sales information systems, such as sales forecast, information from sales personnel, and information called from automated sales system. So, internal records is the information that comes from the inside of the company. These are the business documents and sales records. For example, mga financial costs, sales data, receipt, invoice, and others. So, example of the internal records like kanang you own a clothing shop and sa imong sales records shows that 50 white t-shirts sold this week and only 5 jackets sold. So, meaning mas daghan ang nipalit sa white t-shirt. So, because of that information, makahibaw ka kung unsa ang dagan sa imong business, like kung nalugi ba ka or daghan ba kang halin or mga inana. So, because of that information, so mao to mag-restock na pod ka og white t-shirts. So, mao na ang kuan sa internal records. The second component of MIS is the marketing intelligence. It is a set of procedures and sources used by managers to obtain everyday information about developments in the marketing environment. This includes newspapers, intermediaries, social networks, trade conferences, suppliers, and agencies, the reverse engineering of competitors' products, publish reports, purchase information, and etc. Marketing intelligence monitors the external environments, or it is the information collected outside of the company, or it is about observing the market environment like competitors' activities, market trends, and economic development. For example, ikaw kay skincare seller niya, nakita nimo sa social media or sa TikTok that many people are buying sunscreen with whitening effect, and nakita po nimo sa imong competitors nga nag-sell po siya og sunscreen. So, because of marketing intelligence or because of that information, makakuha ka og ideya kung saan na pwede mo ibaligya kay daghan man ang ganahan. And the last component is the market research. It is the systematic design, collection, analysis, and reporting of data and findings relevant to specific marketing situation facing the company. This includes taking surveys or conducting exploratory studies of a market. Market research is the process of gathering information by directly asking or studying customers. For example, gusto ka mag-open of fruit shakes. So before selling, mag-asa ka og mga 50 students kung ganahan ba sila og na fruit shakes, kung unsang flavor ang ilang ganahan, o kung gusto lang ba nila og affordable lang. So, through that survey, makagather na ka og information, and kung unsa gani ang result is mao to ang imong buhaton or ibaligya. Thank you.
Good day everyone. Today, I will explain the market research process. Market research is primarily concerned with understanding the nature of a market, and it is the process of gathering and analyzing information about the market, customers, and competitors. Its main purpose is to help businesses understand what customers need and wants so they can make better decisions. Some of the questions that a market research typically seeks to answer are: who are our typical buyers? Where do our buyers come from? How big is our market? And what are our customers' aspirations? How do our customers shop and with whom? What do our customers buy? Why do customers refuse to buy our products? So, by answering these questions, businesses can create products and services that better satisfy their customers. The next is, the processes involved in conducting market research can be outlined as follows. Define the problem and research objectives. The problem should not be defined too broadly, nor too narrowly. In fact, great care should be taken when defining a problem, as this will determine the very nature and direction of the research. And the first step is identifying the problem or purpose of the research. So, a business must clearly know what it finds out. For example, a company may want to know why their sales are decreasing or what type of product customers prefer. And that's all. Thank you.
Good day everyone. By the way, I am Chelsea Tanyo. So now I will explain the market research process. First is developing the research plan. In this step, we prepare everything before doing the research. We decide what tools to use, who will ask, and how many people we need, and how we will conduct them. For research instrument, these are the tools like survey or questionnaire. For example, I can use a Google form to ask students about their favorite milk tea flavor. Next is simple plan. This includes who we will survey, how many, and how we will choose them. Like, I can choose 50 grade 12 students randomly. And lastly, contact method. This is how we reach out respondent. For example, I can send the survey through Messenger or interview them respond personally. So the next step is collecting the information. This is where we gather the data from the respondent using our chosen method like survey or interview. We also make sure that the person collecting the data is prepared and know how to communicate properly. Like for example, I will send my survey link to a student and wait for the response. Or I can ask them questions directly and write down their answer. So the last step is analyzing the data. After collecting all the information, we will organize and study the result. If the data is in numbers, we can use graph or percentage. If it is opinion, we will summarize the answer. Like for example, if most students choose chocolate milk tea, we can conclude that it is the most preferred flavor. We can also present the result using chart to make it easier to understand. So overall, the market research process helps us to understand people's preference by planning, collecting, and analyzing the data. That's all. Thank you for listening.
Market research process. Presenting the findings once processed, the data can now become useful information. However, its usefulness will still be a function of how well it is presented. Quantitative information, for instance, may be best be digested in the form of graphs and charts so that trends can be more easily seen. Qualitative data, on the other hand, may best be presented in the form of clear examples and case studies. Market research process kay proseso ni siya sa pag-organize o pag-present sa nakuhang information aron dali masabtan ug magamit sa negosyo. Examples ani kay paghimo og graphs aron makita unsay produkto nga pinakadaghan o baligya. Ikaduha, paggamit og chart para ipakita kung unsa nga flavor ang pinakadaghan sa nga paliton sa customer. Research methods. As a rule, it is generally expensive to collect primary data. That is why firms with smaller budgets generally resort to accessing secondary data and extrapolating conclusions from them. Ang research methods maoning ang laing-laing paagi sa pagkuha og information o data. Mahimo ni pinaagi sa pag-survey, interview, observation or research sa internet ug libro. Example, pag-survey sa students kung unsa ilang favorite nga snacks. Pag-research sa internet bahin sa trending nga product. Observation. Observation is best to use when trying to answer questions involving how a market behaves. Thus, observation works for situations such as the following: identifying which section of a supermarket a shopper typically visits first, finding out how much toothpaste a consumer applies to his toothbrush per use, and determining how long a type of customer typically stays in a quick service food outlet. So lastly, observation kay pagtanaw ug pag-obserba sa tinuod nga lihok o batasan sa mga customers. Pinaagi niini sa imong pag-obserba, makita sa negosyo unsaon sa customers pagpalit o paggamit sa produkto.
Marketing Information System or MIS